Yeah. Get high rapper. The man hour. You already know. It's live. It's raw. It's going down. Like this. I'm going around and letting everybody know that they welcome to the show. It's the latest thing you ever seen, you already know. Let me introduce you to your host of the hour. It be Mike and Mike. Yeah, it's the man hour. Got the hottest plays, all the breaking news. Every rumor, every trade, every breaking bruise. Tighten knuckle screws. Yeah, it's going down. Have you saying what the fuck and never watered down? It's going down. I'll be rolling up. And if you buy it or you sell it, then you made the cut. Watch me flip it back. I can double up. I got sriracha for that ass, I'ma burn it up. Gotta check the rules, but know that it be fair foul. Rep blow the whistle, coach throw the towel. We can do this on the field or outside the lines. It's the man hour though, now we going live.
What is going on, people? It is the man hour after dark. I am here with my boy, Mike Leblanc. Mike, what's going on, buddy? You're muted, Mike.
Oh, son of a bitch.
Fucking
What up?
rookie.
No, fucking rookie. God damn it. Fucking rookie.
What is going on, bud?
Man, just, living life.
Having fun today? Enjoying your Veterans Day today?
Yes, sir. I've enjoyed my Veterans Day today. My ex took me out for a Veterans Day lunch and got a huge ass fucking beer and a couple of shots, and then worked till around 1, 2, and then just kind of hung out the rest of the day. What about you?
Yeah.
You enjoy your Veterans Day?
Man, I was so busy today. I had the day off of work, and I was like, I'm gonna relax and hang out and play some video games with the kids. And man, I ended up going out and getting all sorts of stuff for the podcast and trying to do this and that. And so yeah, I was actually busier today than I am when I work. So
don't let people know why we need new equipment for our podcast. We're not gonna let that out.
Hey, big news coming, but you're gonna have to wait for that. But at any rate, we are. Look, Veterans Day is something that is near and dear to both of our hearts. It is something that we earned, along with all of our brothers and sisters, especially those who did not come back. And so I just want to extend my deepest appreciation to everybody who has served, especially those who paid the ultimate sacrifice, and to their families too. Because it's not just the service members, but their families endure this as well.
Yes, their families deserve a happy Veterans Day too. A lot of people don't realize that when we go overseas and we go do our deployments, that it's just not us on deployment either. It's our families who are on deployment. They might not be in the shit with us, but they're in the shit here. Waking up, for your family members back home, waking up every day am I going to get the news today? Is someone going to come knock on my door today? Is someone going to come deliver me a flag today? So to all the military family out there, hey, happy Veterans Day to you too. And there's one thing I want to say, because I got into a conversation with someone at lunch today. He was an old Marine. And, I thanked him for his service and everything like that. And, he asked me if I was a veteran. I said, yes, sir. And he asked me if I went across the pond. And I said, yes, sir, I did. And we got to talking about that. And then he goes, anybody that hasn't gone across the pond, they're not veterans. They're not real veterans. And I kind of looked at him and I said, sir, with no disrespect, but in my opinion, those men and women are veterans. And he looked at me and he said, well, why do you think that if they didn't fight for our country? I said, well, at the end of the day, even if you don't go across seas and you stayed home, it was either A, we were in peacetime, or B, you were back home supporting us that were over there in the shit. So, and if you weren't supporting us, or if it was in peacetime, whatever the case may be, if you didn't go across the pond, you know what? In my eyes, you are still a veteran, because at the end of the day, when you signed up, you signed that check for up to your life, regardless of what went down, what happened. You had the balls to do it that the majority of Americans don't have. You signed a check for up to your life.
And
So happy Veterans Day to you too.
I'm one of them veterans that did not go across the pond. I was a part of the 9/11 cleanup, like we talked about yesterday, and you know that type of stuff. But there's also things that are going on back home that takes care of you guys while you're overseas. I mean, you come back and your pay's all messed up. Then you're gonna be upset. But it's the guys that are back here that are dealing with all of that stuff, dealing with all the paperwork, dealing with all the bullshit behind the scenes. We're all the same team. I like to joke around with my brother, best friend. He's Army in the 82nd, and him and I go back and forth all the time. He always says, anytime he sees me, he says, "A few of the proud, the queens." I always tell him Army stands for ain't ready to be Marine yet. We go back and forth and joke around, but at the end of the day, we're all on the same team. We're all fighting the same battles, and so. It is what it is. So it's unfortunate that guy has that point of view.
Yeah, I mean, but it didn't matter where I was when I was stateside. You got a bunch of us. It doesn't matter if it's Army guys with Marines or Air Force or Navy, hell, even the Coast Guard. You get us all in a room, we're all gonna fuck with each other.
Yeah.
But the minute somebody else that is never served, you start fucking with one of us, you're gonna have all of us to deal with, not just one.
Right. Yeah, no, exactly. And that's the thing. I mean, we are all on the same team. And James Harvey chimes in and says, "Thank you both. Thank you all veterans. You are very welcome, sir." Benz chimes in, says, "Fuck Chip. That is all. Love you, boys."
Oh, I thought he was gonna.
He's still on Chip.
Oh, you're still angry, Benzie. Benzie, you're still angry. I hope Chip's watching.
That guy, man. Mike Buckheiser chimes in, says, "I have a buddy that has a Purple Heart. It's crazy what he went through in less than a year." It is, man. Look, when you go overseas, man, you don't know. And that's the thing that I think that messes with a lot of the guys. A lot of the guys that were coming home that I was talking to, especially over in Iraq after enduring Iraqi freedom and all that, they're talking about, man, we had like 4-year-olds and 5-year-olds coming up to run up and give us a hug, but we had to point our weapons at them and tell them to go away because we don't know what they're strapped with. We don't know, because they're crazy. Like they do stupid shit, and
he's not lying. So
yeah,
there's one thing that I'm okay with talking about. So I'm pulling guard duty, and there's this kid, I don't know, maybe like 12, 13, right? Walking up to our Alpha, and he's got a box in his hand. So I yell out, like, "Stop, don't move." Like,
yep.
He kept walking, so we have a linguist with us. So I tell him, like, "Yo, hey, tell him to stop, or we're gonna shoot." Kid doesn't stop. So you fire a warning shot at his feet. Stops for a minute. Comes. So you have to do what you have to do. Turns out this kid had it was like 6 or 7 sticks of like dynamite or whatever the hell they use over there, coming up to our base. You know what I mean? To our, not our base, but our little AA. So yeah man, it's when he tells you, like, kids out there, you got little fucking 7, 8, 9, 10-year-olds running around the streets with AK-47s, dude. It's like, you don't know. Yeah, man. And that's the shitty part about when you're over there in Iraq and Afghanistan. Like, you don't know. You don't know who's the enemy over there.
Yeah, and that's the thing, man. And that was the thing that got me the most tore up about after 9/11. I was part of the cleanup, and there was a lot of things that we saw there that a lot of people, don't realize or don't remember. A lot of people remember that the towers went down, but there were actually 9 buildings that went down during that whole thing. And the 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 things that happened and the things that were done during that time, it was just crazy. But to watch the aftermath after we're getting off of the battlefield on Camp Lejeune on 9/12, where we were told to shoot down anything that flew overhead because we didn't know what was going on. We're coming off the battlefield, we're watching the news, and you're seeing the women, children, and men in the streets of Iraq jumping up and down for joy with weapons in their hands, and it puts it in perspective for you. Is that, look, they live a different life over there. Things are crazy, and you do what you got to do. And podcasting tip says, "What's the cleanup?"
We're coming off the battlefield.
Like cleanup in New York. Yeah, so we were a part of the cleaning up. There was a platoon of 10 of us from my platoon that went over to New York at Ground Zero. Was assisting in the cleanup, and there were people from all over the place. I mean, there were volunteers from everywhere that were helping assist in the cleanup and doing everything that they could. So, yeah. But at any rate, let's get to what you guys are all here for. Let's get to some sports. And we've got some good football happening this weekend, man. Lots of good football happening. And some of the games here, like, this first one to start with is tomorrow. You got the Colts and the Titans, and that's a big battle over there in the AFC South.
It is. That's potentially a battle for the division right there.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Who do you got? Who do you got? Before we break it down, who do you got?
I'm gonna roll with the Titans. I think that the Colts are smoke and mirrors. I'm not a big believer in Phillip Rivers anymore. I know who Phillip Rivers is. I know what he's done throughout his career, but I also know what I've seen from him over the last 2 years. And I feel like the Titans are a better team, and I feel like the Titans are going to take this one. Might be closer than we think. I think that Colts defense is a lot better than I thought it was to begin the year. I'm actually surprised they're in the position that they're at. But I've got the Colts winning this one. The Titans winning this one, something like 20-17.
Ooh. I don't know, man. I got the Colts. I think the Colts pull it out late. I think Phillip Rivers has some last-minute heroics and drives down the field and gets them to the 35-yard line and kicks field goal to win the game.
Yeah. Look, it would not surprise me if the Colts win this. Thursday night games, man, and I say this all the time, Thursday night games need to go away because they're just so bad. They are, and even when good teams are playing, like the Titans and the Colts, we're going to get teams that are just not that good playing. You know what I mean? Like, it's. I feel like Thursday night games would be better off if you took them away, went with Sunday night, and took the Thursday night game and made it a Monday night doubleheader.
I don't know if I like Monday night doubleheaders.
I love Monday night doubleheaders. Yeah, absolutely. 2 games on a Monday night, absolutely. Buck Kaiser chimes in and says, "Damn it, Mike, mute your computer."
Well, I don't know what the hell he's talking about. You need to go somewhere, Buck. Okay, go sit down. Go sit down.
Why you gotta keep doing our boy like that, man?
Cause he's calling me out and shit.
And I hate to laugh at it too, but I can't help it. Oh man. All right, so Buck, you got the Colts.
You know we love you.
James Harvey says the Raiders.
You know, and that's not a bad pick. I mean, the Raiders have kind of surprised some people this season.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. I honestly thought the Raiders were going to be shit this season.
Yeah. I didn't think they were going to be crap. I had them at 8-8, I think, somewhere in that ballpark. But shouldn't they be better than what they are though? The Raiders.
I mean, I think so. I mean, I think John Gruden is done as a coach. Honestly,
Yeah. I don't know about as a coach. I just think he took on too much when the Raiders hired him. Just too much, he's not just being a head coach. He's being a head coach. He's being a GM. He's doing, and I just don't think that that's what he is. I liked him in the booth. I loved him in the Monday Night booth. But yeah, I think the Raiders gave too much up for him, and gave him too much, whatever. Whether it's responsibility, whether it's he can make the calls on what plays to run, but can't make the calls on what players to bring in to run those plays. Whatever the case is, I just feel like it's just it's a bad fit right now.
I mean, I don't know, man. They're right in the middle they're in the thick of things. They're 5-3, so it's not like it's not like they're doing horrible. I mean, there's a lot of 5-3 teams. Well, let's see. Yeah. The Colts are 5-3. The Browns are 5-3. Arizona's 5-3. The Rams or the Chart? No, the Rams. The Rams are 5-3. Chicago's 5-4. I mean, they're in the thick of things. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
There's only a few other teams in the league that have a better record than they do, and they've beaten some notable teams also. So
true, and they got the Broncos this week. That's a game that they should win, but it could also be a trap game for them. But they should go out there and it's at home. They should beat the Broncos for sure. But
yeah, like James Harvey said, 6th seed right now. They're 6th seed. They're a playoff team right now.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
And it's just like I said. It's just like I said. What was it last night when we were talking to Benzie? You let any team that gets into the playoffs. I don't care. Any team that gets into the playoffs, you're a dangerous team.
Yeah,
and it's anybody's ball game at that point.
Yeah. All right, then we got the Eagles and the Giants coming up on Sunday.
Why are we even breaking down the trash-ass NFC East?
Look, man, the problem is that the 2-7 Giants are playing the 3-4-1 Eagles for
first place.
A shot at first place.
It's sad because that whole fucking. Let's see what the Cowboys are 2-7, Giants are 2-7, Eagles are 3-4, Washington's 2-6. There's no real first place. Place in that division.
If Washington's playing the Lions, if Washington goes out and beats the Lions, and the Giants somehow find a way to beat the Eagles, Washington's in first place.
But if Washington loses and the Giants win, Giants are now in first place.
Yes, they'd be a half game, they'd be a half game behind the Giants, or behind the Eagles, because the Eagles have that tie. So that keeps the Giants.
God, here comes Buck with that bullshit about the Cowboys.
Oh Jesus! Buck,
Cowboys will not finish in first place. Buck, calm down.
God. Podcasting Tips chimes in and says Giants win that game. I don't know if the Giants win that game.
I do think the Giants win this game. I mean, you see, they hung with Tampa Bay. Who they play last week?
Can't think of it off the top of my head. They played. Well, I'll get it up here 1 second. They hung they beat them too. They won last week, didn't they? Yeah, they beat Washington.
Yeah. So if Washington does lose and Giants win, Giants will be in first place because they've already beat the
No, they'd be a half game behind the Eagles because the Eagles would only have 5 wins.
Okay, gotcha.
But the fact that a 2-7 team is playing for a chance to be within a half game of first place is absolutely disgusting.
The NFC East is still anybody's division to win in that division, and that's sad.
Yeah, and look,
what do you do?
I think the Eagles are poised to win this division.
What do you do if a 6-10 team wins the division in the NFC East and goes through and makes it to the Super Bowl and wins?
Dude, if that happens, man.
I mean, it would
I'm
be
to
a
the point where
2020
I don't
thing
even
to
want.
happen.
I don't want a 6-10 team to even be hosting a playoff game or even be in the playoffs. I'm all for changing the entire format. But if they go out and they somehow find a way to do something stupid and end up winning the Super Bowl, dude, that would be. I mean, they deserve it.
It would go right along with 2020. I mean,
yeah. I mean, they would. Yeah. I mean, you deserve the win at that point. You win the Super Bowl, you deserve the win. But, Jesus, man.
Or if the Cowboys win first place, Cowboys go all the way through and win the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Buckheiser said, what was he telling you a couple weeks back? Wasn't he saying something about whoever wins the NFC East is going to the NFC title game?
Yeah, he did. He did say that.
Man, that's not right. I don't think it's right. I don't think it's going to happen. All of these teams are bad. I think the Eagles are probably the best of the group right now. They're playing the best of the group right now. I think Carson Wentz is finally starting to play like at least some form of what we thought Carson Wentz was. But, man, that's a tough game to pick, man. It could go either way.
I've got the Giants winning this game. I've got the Giants winning 21-17.
And I'm going to go the Eagles the same way, 21-17. I'm going to go Eagles, and they find a way to pull this one out. Just because, man, I love chaos in sports. So
I mean, it would be
Man,
chaotic, and that's why I'm kind of rooting for an NFC East team to go into the playoffs and fuck some shit up and go all the way, because it would just go right along with 2020 with everything.
I think your boy Buckeyes is trying to save face here. NFC East will get beat by 20 in the playoffs. Buck, that's not what you said, though.
Buck, what are you talking about?
All the crap that comes out of your mouth, and you're afraid to just roll with it now?
Damn.
Come on, Buck. Don't go back on your word now.
Damn, Buck. You can't go back on your word.
Stop doing that to him, man. James Harvey says Eagles D is gonna win it.
No, man. No. No. I think that I don't think we see Carson Wentz play like we normally do. I think I mean, let's be honest. This is a division game, right? We all know, regardless of what you are. Oh my God, Buck. Everybody knows everybody in their division, and they play them really well. I think the Giants win this game.
Man, all right. I mean, James Harvey says I need fantasy points, so he must have the Eagles defense. Yeah. Well, I think Carson Wentz. So Carson Wentz so far this season has not been playing Carson Wentz. So he's throwing interceptions at a very high rate. And that's not what Carson Wentz does. Carson Wentz will fumble the ball a lot. That's who Carson Wentz has been his whole career. But he's never been a guy that throws a lot of interceptions. And that's where it's been crazy to watch him this year, is that he's trying to do things that he normally doesn't do. He's trying to fit balls into windows that he knows he just can't fit them into, and he's still trying it. And that, in years past, he would have passed it up and he would have either tucked it and ran or thrown the ball away. And this year he's just, for some reason, trying to make something happen. So, I don't know. I guess we'll see. I got the Eagles, though, opposite of you. I got them winning this one 21-17. Then we got an NFC South battle. Tampa Bay and Carolina. The Buccaneers and the Panthers. Another noon kickoff. This is another tough one, man, because Carolina's got CMC back. They're better than people thought that they were going to be, even though they are still 3-6. I'm going to take Carolina in the upset on this one. I think Tampa Bay is coming off of that loss to New Orleans, and I keep preaching Tampa Bay and saying how good they are and that Brady's not falling off a cliff. But the fact that this game's in Carolina, Tampa Bay is coming off that loss.
Christian McCaffrey's getting his legs back.
Yeah, I just think all the signs are pointing towards Carolina in this game. So I'm going to pick Carolina 36-33.
I'm going to pick Carolina in a huge upset,
Ooh.
31-14.
Wow. You think the offensive struggles continue for Tampa Bay then?
I do. It's because, like I said last night, I think that Saints defense really kind of exposed Tom Brady during that game. Yes, I do think Tom Brady did have an off game. I mean, would he throw like 3 picks that game?
Yeah.
But I do think the reason why he threw those picks is because the defense, the scheme that they were running against Tom Brady was, hey, we're going to pick up that 5 and 10 yards that he constantly throws. I mean, I know Brady can put it down the field, but not like he used to constantly throughout the whole game. You're going to get, 4 or 5 deep balls from Brady, and that's about it. And he's gonna start throwing those intermediate passes, and they covered those really well.
Yep.
I mean, if you look, Lattimore completely shut down Mike Evans. He was targeted, I think, 8 or 9 times and had 0 catches. Completely shut him down.
You suck, Buck. You suck. Brady does not suck.
So I think Carolina really studies that game film from the Saints, and you got to remember they're all in the same division too, right? So,
yeah, but CMC too. CMC does have the shoulder thing, so that could possibly put. The way that they played against the Chiefs this past weekend, and the Chiefs barely pulled that one out. Was it 33-31?
Yeah, it was close.
Yeah, and I think so. The Panthers are playing better. I think that they're going to.
Yeah,
I think it's going to be closer than you do, though.
That's why I think it's another blowout for Tom Brady's offense, because Tom Brady and them cannot score at will like the Chiefs can. Chiefs can score at will. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Tom Brady is not Patty Mahomes.
Right.
He does not have a Tyreek Hill. And Eclair is running like a monster this season.
Yep.
So, and Carolina went toe-to-toe with him.
Yeah.
So, I think
they're also one of those teams that will play down to its competition and only score as many points as they need to score, too, though.
True.
You know what I mean?
I don't know about that.
Oh, they've been that team all year. They absolutely only score as many points as they need to score, and that's why they got in trouble with the Raiders. Is because they play down to their competition. That's who the Chiefs do. I mean, they absolutely do. The Chiefs, if they wanted to, could score 60 points every week.
Yeah, no, I agree. Here comes Buck Dick riding on KC.
Yeah.
Anyway, Carolina's got this one, 31-14, and let's move on.
All right. So moving on, we've also got another good one here. We've got the Los Angeles, and who would have thought we would have said this before the season, that this was a good game. We got the Los Angeles Chargers and what I think could be a trap game for the Miami Dolphins. The Miami Dolphins are good and relevant. Do they stay good and relevant? Do they win this game, or do they move to 5-4?
Oh, I don't know. I think this might be a trap game for them. Listen, man.
I really love Justin Herbert, man.
I do. I love the kid, man. I really like sitting back watching him play. his mechanics and the way he understands being in the pocket and his downfield ball.
Yep.
It dare I say he is Peyton Manning-ish. The way he commands the field.
Yep.
And I think the Chargers win this game. I think Tua is too high on his last win against Arizona. And they go in and they shit the bed.
Oof. This is a tough one because I really like what the Dolphins are doing, and I like Tua, and I think that system's going to work down there. But I really like what Justin Herbert's doing so far, and I think that Justin Herbert and Los Angeles find a way to beat the Dolphins this week. I do. It's not because the Dolphins shit the bed. It's just because the Chargers are that team that can beat you if you ain't ready for them. Yeah. And I can see a case where Justin Herbert goes out and throws for 350 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Well, I mean, yeah.
So
I think Herbert, yeah, dude, man, I think Herbert is going to carve up that defense.
Yeah, I agree, and that's why I think the Chargers. I'll take this one. Chargers 27-23.
I see it being a little lower. I've got it 21-14. I mean, he's got Justin Herbert, like week 9, 320 yards, 2 touchdowns, 105.9 passer rating.
Yeah. I
mean,
the kid is good, man.
That is, you're talking about like elite status stats right there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We'll see.
That kid he's doing something special, and he's doing something special in a spot where nobody's going to notice because of where he plays right now. The Los Angeles Chargers just aren't relevant right now. And so I feel like he's flying under the radar. A lot of people aren't seeing him, and he's going to come out. This kid's going to be special for a long time.
What's gonna hurt the Dolphins is they are ranked 25th right now in rush defense.
Yeah.
And who is the Chargers running back? Remind me again. Damn it.
What names. Hold on, I'll get it.
Son of a bitch. Why can't I think of his name?
Chargers running back is...
Yeah, I agree with podcasting.
Jackson.
Yeah, Justin Jackson. I think Jackson's going to have a big day. I mean, he's going up against one of the worst rushing defenses in the league. Yeah. And that's going to open up the passing game for Herbert. And it's going to be I think it's going to be an ugly day for the Dolphins defense.
Yeah. I think it hurt them a lot that Eckler went on the IR. Because Eckler's a very versatile back, and he would have helped that team a lot. I think that they would have pulled out. They haven't lost any game since Justin Herbert took over by more than 1 score.
Yeah, and Eckler could have put him over.
That's impressive, man.
Yeah.
So, and with the schedule that they've played, I mean, they've played the Saints, they've played the Chiefs, they've played the Bucks. I mean, he has run a gauntlet and has not lost any game by more than 1 score. So he's really doing something special there, and I definitely think that they're going to beat the Dolphins this week. Unfortunately for Dolphins fans, but we'll see. Another good game we got is the Buffalo Bills and the Arizona Cardinals.
No,
everybody knew Buffalo was going to be good, but I'm not so sure very many people were. I know I wasn't sold on the Cardinals before the season started. I had Buffalo winning their division, but This one's in Arizona. Arizona's coming off that loss to Miami. Buffalo's playing well. That defense is starting to get back to form. That being said, I think that the Arizona Cardinals are going to win this one. I think that the Arizona Cardinals and Kyler Murray are going to find a way. This is going to be a low-scoring game, though. I think that they're going to find a way, and they're going to end up winning something like 20-17, 20-16.
I'm torn on this game because Buffalo goes into Arizona riding high on that win against. I don't know, man. I really think. I don't know, man. I'm torn on this game. Because Arizona is going to be, they're going to have a fucking chip on their shoulder for losing to the Dolphins, right? They feel like they just got embarrassed, especially Kyler Murray. When you watch, you could just see it in his face on the post-game interview. It was just.
But the Bills are great in Buffalo, and outside of Buffalo, they're a different team.
They are.
So
it's just that look of disgust on Kyler Murray's face. Just told me everything I needed to know about their next game. Like, no, we coming out here with a purpose next game. I think the Cardinals win this game. I don't think it's as close as what you have it. I've got Arizona putting up 38 and keeping Buffalo to maybe 20, 21. I think Arizona comes out with a point to prove against a 7-2 Buffalo team who is top
you
dog.
Think that defense is good enough? You think that, that offense is good enough to tear up that Buffalo defense like that?
I do. I think Hopkins is the difference maker. I really do. And over the course of the season, you can definitely tell the chemistry between DeAndre Hopkins and Kyler Murray has gotten a lot stronger. And there's definitely more chemistry there. And you're starting to see Kyler Murray put up that 50-50 ball for DeAndre Hopkins and starting to trust him with that.
You can text me the answers if you want, Buck, but they'll probably be wrong, and I probably won't use them anyway. All the stuff that spews out of your mouth. But no, look, it wouldn't surprise me either way. It would surprise me if this is a game that Arizona just runs away with, because I think Buffalo is that defense is really.
I don't know. Look for Arizona to get up a lot early in the first half.
Yeah.
And if Buffalo does make a comeback, it's going to be in garbage time in the fourth quarter to make it look interesting.
All right. So how about Seattle and the Rams?
Oh,
this is one of them games that Seattle needs to prove and get back into the light.
Yes, this is definitely a game. This is definitely a game Seattle needs to come back and be like, you know what? We're the top dog in the NFC.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to put my nuts on your mouth right now. I'm going to put my nuts on your chin. And I'm going to show you why we are top dog here in the NFC. And this has to be that game.
Yeah.
Going up against
the Rams are the team you can do it to too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now are the Rams smoke and mirrors? Because they're 5-3.
They're all smoke and mirrors.
So
they were I believe they were 5-3 last year when they finished. I know they started out 3-0 and they finished 9-7. So I think that they're still that same team.
We shall see.
So what do you got for a score in this one?
Ooh.
I'm going Seattle. See, I'm going like how you did with the last one. I'm going Seattle something like 38-20.
I got this as a college football score.
Yeah.
I got this as 42 to 17.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think Russell Wilson comes in with a point to prove, and I think that defense has even more point to prove. And Metcalf and Russell Wilson are going to go off.
Yeah. All right, last game I want to get to is this one here. You've got Cincinnati and Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's undefeated. Big Ben's been on the COVID restricted list. He didn't test positive, but he was around the players that did.
He's going to play.
I think he will too. And this is still a trap game for me. I still think that the Bengals somehow, some way, find a way to take this one.
Bengals win 28-21.
I think more like 24-21, but yeah, something in that ballpark, something in that.
It's going to be a close
Bengals
game.
Find a way.
Yep, it's going to be a close game. I think Joe Burrow is the difference maker in this game. If you go back and start looking at the game film, what the Cowboys offense did to that defense. Now, let's be honest. That defense had everybody in there. Nobody was like that was their defense. And the Cowboys made them look stupid in the first 3 quarters.
Yeah.
Cowboys led that game all the way up until the fourth quarter. Cincinnati. We talk about game film so much, and I don't know if like the average fan really understands what game film really means, right? So for the average fan, what game film means is, people go back and look at things that they've done in the previous week, what was good, what wasn't, what worked, what didn't, and they add it into their game plan on what they do. So I think they go back and look at the game plan. Steelers win 7-3 game-winning drive. What the fuck was it? Are you meaning like 7 points to 3 points, Buck?
Like final score 7-3? Yikes! That might be the worst game of the year.
Anyway, so I think the Cowboys kind of showed what you can do and what you can burn that defense, that Pittsburgh defense on, and I think Joe Burrow is going to be the difference maker in this game. And now Buck's got me off track at 7-3. But
7-3. I don't know what game would be 7 to like. I mean, that means with a game-winning drive, that means they're down 3-0.
The whole game.
And that's what he says. Final score is 7-3.
So you're talking about
the whole game.
And kickers missed 5 field goals. I mean, I can see them missing field goals. The Steelers kicker did miss like 3 or 4 field goals against the Cowboys, but I don't think Cincinnati leads the whole game at 3.
Yeah, if Cincinnati only scores 3 points the entire game, then they're going to lose something like 31-3.
Yeah,
that's not.
That defense isn't that good.
No, they're not holding the Steelers down the entire game.
No.
I don't know. That's Buck's crazy pick of the week.
Yeah. All right, so there's a game that I really want to talk about. This is my game of the week. This is my everybody must watch game of the week. San Francisco against New Orleans. New Orleans came out and just smashed Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay is supposed to be Super Bowl bound, all this, right? So they're going against the San Francisco defense who over the past couple weeks have started to get pieces back to that defense. I want to see Drew Brees, how he reacts to this defense, that front seven of San Francisco. I don't think that Tampa Bay
front seven depleted.
No, they're starting to get all those pieces back. I still have the Saints winning this game, but I think it's going to be a nail biter, and it's going to come down to the last drive. Whoever has the ball last wins this game. I think Drew Brees drives him down to the field in between the 30 to 25 and spikes it with 2 seconds left, and Saints kick a game-winning field goal. No,
Mike
front seven
Buckheisen
is
says front seven
all.
is on IR. They got one
No,
back. Bosa will
no.
be
Yeah,
out
Bosa
till
will be out
next.
the next 5 seasons.
No, he'll be out till week 5 of next season.
Oh my god.
I mean, he's not wrong. Bosa is the engine to that defense.
I get that, but that defense has been playing well. They're not they're 4-5, but I don't think that's because of their defense. It's because of their offensive trouble.
I think it's the Saints win this one 34-17.
Ooh. I don't know. I think this is a close game. I think this is going to be the game that everybody expects New Orleans to come out and do the same thing that they did to Tampa Bay, and they're not. It's going to come down to the very end. And like I said, this could come down to whoever has the ball last. It could come down to the 49ers having the ball last and San Francisco kicks a field goal to win the game.
Jamison Joseph Jackson, who I would say is probably a Niners fan, judging by his
He's a huge Niners fan.
He expects San Francisco loses out and drafts their new franchise quarterback. Is that what you expect, or is that what you want to have happen, Jameson, as a Pats fan or as a 49ers fan? Look, there's a lot of teams ahead of you. You can still get and that's what I'm saying. I've been saying as a Bears fan. People are like, oh, you want them to lose because they're not going to win the Super Bowl. They're not a contender. You can still get your franchise quarterback in this draft late in the first round or even in the middle of the second round.
Yeah, this is going to be a rich draft.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of really good quarterbacks coming out. There's a lot of quarterbacks that people don't really look at right now. Like, that could be a franchise quarterback. You got that kid out of, where's he at? The Bisons there.
BYU?
I can't think of his name. No. I can't think of his name right now. He's doing really well. Ian Book out of Notre Dame is going to be a very solid NFL quarterback. You've got the kid from Kyle Trask from Florida is going to be a very solid quarterback. And those are guys that you're going to be able to get outside of the first round. Kellen Mond is another one.
You got Fields, Trevor Lawrence. I mean, you even have like all the way to Sam Ehlinger. I think Sam Ehlinger is going to be a good NFL quarterback. This is going to be a rich quarterback draft. Not only a rich quarterback draft, this is just going to be a rich player draft, including offensive linemen, defensive linemen, linebackers, wide receivers. I don't think it's going to be too big on defensive backs, but the rest, I think this is in tight ends. I don't see that many tight ends, but
I don't think there's 5 quarterbacks that are going to go high.
That will go high.
I don't think there's 5 that will go high. You've got Justin Fields and you've got Trevor Lawrence. They're going to go 2 picks probably within the first 6. But there's not a whole lot. There's maybe 5 teams right now looking for a franchise
quarterback. Yeah.
There's the Bears, there's the Niners, there's the Jets, obviously, and then, I mean, who the Browns aren't looking for one. The Jets shouldn't be looking for one. I think Darnold is their franchise quarterback, but they're not happy with Darnold. So that's another guy who's going to get moved this offseason. So there's another quarterback that's in the market that as a Bears fan, if you don't draft one of these guys, go get Sam Darnold.
Yeah.
Sam Darnold is a very good quarterback trapped in a very shitty organization. They have not built around him. They have not done the things to help him succeed. So he is absolutely a guy that can get you to where you need to be as a quarterback. And I think Sam Darnold in San Francisco will make a lot of sense. A quarterback that they're ready to win now, and they're built to win now, especially with that defense. And you bring Sam Darnold, and you don't have to bring up a quarterback under Jimmy G for a year or two. Dude, Sam Darnold makes a ton of sense in San Francisco. Jameson, you hit me up. If you don't think that Sam Darnold is a good quarterback, hit me up and let me know why, because I just don't understand that take. A lot of people have that take.
I The Jets, Jaguars, Washington. I agree with the Jets, the Jaguars, Washington, Bears, Cowboys. In my opinion, yes, Cowboys need a new quarterback, but Cowboys.
Okay, well then, if that's the case, then there's another quarterback that's on the market in Dak Prescott.
I don't think Dak Prescott comes back in the same Dak Prescott.
I do. I like Dak Prescott. I thought Dak Prescott, if Dak Prescott would have stayed with the Cowboys this year, they would have been a 9-7 team. They would have won this division. And it wouldn't have been close if he didn't get hurt.
No, I don't think so. I agree with you. Dak Prescott was playing really good this season, and I hate to admit it, but
he still had more passing yards than like 6 quarterbacks in the league, and he's been out since week 5.
Yeah, I mean, he was doing good, but the Cowboys aren't going. They're not going to. They're not gonna move on from Dak, and I hope they do, because I don't think Dak Prescott coming back from that compound fracture, dislocated ankle, like that's a hard injury to come back from.
Yeah, it's brutal.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, look at the injury Alex Smith just came back from.
Yeah, I mean, it took him 2 years to come back from that.
Yeah. Dude, his leg looked like it went through a meat grinder.
So Jameson says Sam Darnold is decent, but he's not better than Trevor Lawrence. That's where you're wrong, Jameson. And here's why. I'm going to tell you why you're wrong.
Lawrence. Yeah.
I'm going to tell you why you're wrong.
The Niners aren't getting Trevor Lawrence, though. They're not going to lose that many. Yeah.
Sam Darnold is a better quarterback than Trevor Lawrence because Sam Darnold has a few years in the league. He's used to the game speed. Trevor Lawrence is not. Period.
No quarterback in this draft besides Trey Lance will change his team. Who the hell is Trey Lance?
Who is Trey Lance? Who the fuck is Trey Lance, Buck?
Buck's over here like the Bears GM. They're like, oh, we got all these great quarterbacks. Mitch Trubisky. Who the hell is Trey Lance?
Maybe he's giving Trevor Lawrence a nickname.
Trey Lance is the quarterback of the future.
You can't even spell Lance right.
Who the hell is...
He's stutter typing.
Trey...
North Dakota State quarterback. Oh, from the Bisons you were just talking about.
Oh!
Yeah,
yes.
Trey
Lance is going to be a good quarterback. He's not going to be...
He's not better than...
Well, they're saying I'm looking at it right now. ESPN's saying he's the 3rd best quarterback in the draft.
I don't think he's better than Trevor Lawrence.
I think Trevor Lawrence...
You were a hope up.
I think Trevor Lawrence is a... I can't put those comments up. Well, I can, I guess. I think Trevor Lawrence is a bust.
Do you?
I don't think... Yeah, I do. And I know, and I said this to the boys from Twist. I said this to Reeves and Benz, and they lost their shit. Benz didn't even want to do the rest of the show. He just kind of ran through his picks and shit. And he was like, I threw him for a loop when I said that, because he says that if you were going to build a prototype franchise quarterback, you would build Trevor Lawrence. And I came back with no, you would build Patrick Mahomes. But he's high on Trevor. I don't think Trevor's going to be... I think it's going to be a bust. I just do. You don't agree?
I don't think Trevor Lawrence is going to be a bust. No, I don't.
I do. I just don't think his game translates. I think he's got a great college game. I just don't think it translates to the NFL.
Oh, man, he sits in that pocket beautifully, man. Because we don't know how to lose.
Who's drafting him? The Jets?
I mean, if he goes to the Jets, I mean, anybody. The Jets are the new Browns when it comes to quarterbacks. I mean, anybody goes to the Jets, I mean, you're kind of fucked because Gase needs to get the hell out of.
Yeah, Gates is probably gone at the end of the year anyway.
I don't know. He was supposed to be gone at the beginning of this year too.
Jameson says he should refuse to play for the Jets. I
agree. I would.
I'd be
like, I'm gonna say this season off.
Pulling Eli Manning. Be like, if you draft me, I won't play. I'll hold out. I don't know. I'm not a big believer in Trevor Lawrence. I watched his game in college, and I feel like it's one of those quarterbacks who is really good in college, like a USC type quarterback who is really good in college, and they expect to be really, really good in the pros, and then it just doesn't translate. Like a Mark Sanchez, like a who else came out of USC that just never materialized. I think that I feel like the same thing is Trevor Lawrence.
I don't know, man.
If the Jets go 0-16, does Trevor Lawrence go back to Clemson?
You can't go back.
Yeah, he can. He's got 1 year left.
Oh, so no. Once you declare for the draft, I don't think you can go back.
Right, but he's a junior. So, well, yeah, but that's what I'm saying. If the Jets end up with the number 1 pick, he hasn't declared for the draft yet.
Oh, true. Yeah, maybe. That's a good question.
Buck says he goes back for his senior year, gets hurt, never gets drafted, and he's working out Walmart in D.C.
Get the fuck out of here, Walmart.
Oh, my God. All right, guys. That is all the time that we have for now. We are going to get the hell out of here. LeBlanc, we've got one more show left without Michael Buckheister. We've got one more show left without all that nonsense that he is about to come at us with. Monday is going to be insane. He's coming with some nonsense.
He's going to be coming with some bullshit. I'm sure he's got just retarded thoughts.
Make sure you guys join us on Monday, though, because not only is Buck back, but we've got some huge news that we will be letting you guys in on Monday when Buck gets back. So, Buck. Man. But, yes, Jameson, yes. Buck's got wild thoughts.
Look at Buck.
All right.
All right.
LeBlanc, you got anything you want to say to the people before we get out of here?
Man, happy Veterans Day to all you vets out there. We love you. We appreciate you. Thank you for your service. Thank you for your sacrifice. We love you. Cheers, fuckers.
Hoorah.